Hey, what's up, man? It's your boy Interest. I thought I'd do a video on this topic, man. There's multiple videos related to this subject. But coworkers aren't your friends. Coworkers don't really give a fuck about you. And to be honest, me as a coworker, I don't give a fuck about my coworker. So it goes both ways. I'm not their friend, they not, and I'm not their friend. Because the way I carry myself for real, I like to keep to myself. And in the workplace, you'll meet a few people, you can vibe with, you can joke with and stuff. But I keep it to a bare minimum. I don't like to keep track of too many people, and I don't want to be held accountable to have to speak to everybody every day. I mean, I'm cordial, I could be nice, you know. You don't want to be too closed off to where people are whispering about you or think you're weird or something off about you. But at the same time, you don't want to be so outgoing and so nice and just friendly Bobby to everybody, and then they think you just kiss ass or they expect you to be a certain way every day. I can't keep up with that every day. That's why coming in through the gate, I just like to keep my mouth closed. I do a little chuckle here and there. Somebody say a little lame ass joke, at least show I got a little bit of life in me. But I'm not coming in the door. If I get to a new job or whatever, I'm not coming into the door just like, hey, because I did that. I've done that before. I could be an extrovert. You know what I'm saying? I'm an extrovert and an introvert, depending on the situation. I got charisma and stuff, but it's like I've learned not to come in through the gate that way, because when you do that now, because first impression is everything. Now, people expect you to be that way every day. And me, when I keep to myself, when I get in my zone where I want to keep to myself, like I'm really to myself. I'm not in the mood to talk. I'm not even in the mood to really like laugh for real. So let's say the first few days I came in like, being all, you know what I'm saying, this and that. And then I might be in my element one day to where I'm just like, man, I don't feel like being at work. I'm just chilling. I'm just going through the motion. I'm just chilling like for real. I don't feel like being in people's face. I don't want people in my face. And the moment you kind of like switch up, then people, they get confused. They get scratching their head. Like, oh, you bro, okay? You okay? You know what I'm saying? You have the girls or the guys ask you okay? Everything okay? Blah, blah, blah. And you're not smiling like you used or like you usually do, and you're not doing it, blah blah blah. Because in their head, you've painted this picture of yourself being this charismatic, friendly, go Bobby motherfucker to everybody. But in reality, you probably really just an introvert. You like to keep to yourself for real. So when you really be yourself, they're not used to seeing that. But anyways, that's just one subject. The coworkers. That's just one little topic. You don't want to like disclose too much information to coworkers. You don't want to say too much, because people will talk. They will, and it don't have to be necessarily bad, but just know you can test it out. You could just talk to a coworker about something, and then just watch how many people end up knowing whatever you told that particular coworker. Give it like a month or two. That shit will spread like wildfire, man. I remember when I had got a little apartment at the time, a little cheap apartment, 2021, but it was a big thing for me or whatever. It was my first time owning something in my own name outside of a car. And, I told this girl or whatever, I was cool with. And it's no big deal. I mean, it was kind of an accomplishment for me. But I just told her, I ain't want the whole fucking shift to know. You know what I'm saying? I just had random people asking me, oh, I heard you getting your own place. I heard you getting your own spot, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, yeah. Now I'm thinking in my head, like, damn. Like, she went and told everybody, or just like, god damn, like, but that's just an example. Be careful what you tell people, because I mean, you got a couple people, they solid. You got to know them for a little bit. You could tell like, okay, I could speak to this person about something, and they're not gonna go run their mouth and just tell everybody. You do got them solid ones, I ain't gonna lie. You can kind of peep, if you can read energies real good, if you got good discernment, you can tell, okay, maybe they kind of remind you of you, how you carry yourself. So you can kind of trust them, but you still want to be careful. But certain people, man, you can't tell nothing to, because they gonna go tell everybody. You know what I'm saying? Over the hills and everywhere. But So that's another subject. You know, be careful what you disclose to coworkers, man. Don't get involved with coworker drama. Don't get involved with toxicity and all that shit that go on at work. I've been in them situations, you know, and it's not to come at the woman or nothing, but like the woman at the job, bro, especially the older ones, that's what kind of surprised me, and I had to learn this from experience. The older women be acting like children, like like when women get into it at a job, when you got too many women in one spot at a job, you're bound to get cat fights, you know, verbal cat fights and all this. Is just, and then you might get caught up in the mix. You might be cool with this one lady or whatever, and she don't want you speaking to so-and-so because she don't like her, blah, 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 or she don't like him. I was cool with this one guy, you know, buddy named Jay, and this one older woman, I was cool with her too, but she got into it with him for something petty, and she didn't want to see me around him, just chopping it up, laughing or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like me and him always do. We just, you know, talk shit, we laugh, you know what I'm saying? That bothered her to see me around Jay, around the dude. Oh, you know, he's not your real friend. No, she trying to get all on my ear talking. He's not your real friend, and you know, you're betraying me if you hang out with him and blah blah blah. And I'm thinking in my head like it's not that serious. Like, like none of us are friends for real. We just associates for real. Like that's what I'm saying. Coworkers are not your friend. I'm not your friend. You know what I'm saying? And you're not your friend. And you're not my friend for real, like you think you are. Just wake up. But she was tripping over that, and it was just something. It was over something so petty, bro. I'm talking about. It got to the point to where I don't mean to laugh, but I think one day she just snapped, bro. I'm talking about she got in my face and yelled. It was something that happened, and she thought I said something, and somebody else said. She thought we was in cahoots against her. She was just taking work too personal. That's another thing. Don't take stuff too personal. Don't get your emotions too involved at work. I'm gonna get to that. But she got in my face and just yelled. She was, you know, she like 46, 45, pretty woman, Puerto Rican. You know how Puerto Ricans, boy. God bless. But, you know, I ain't gonna lie, shit was kind of sexy when she got mad. But I'm like, damn. Like, she was like, don't ever talk to me again, blah, blah, blah. And she went 3 months, y'all. I swear to God, she went 3 months without talking to me. I'm talking about this is a person I used to speak to every day. We'll talk about, fitness stuff. She'll tell me she went to the gym and, you know, she's a vegetarian. She'll talk to me about that sometimes or, you know, stuff like that. She kind of saw me as a son or whatever. I was around the same age as a kid, even though I saw it as something else that I wanted to, you know, but I know that wasn't gonna never happen. But besides that, you know, like don't get your emotions too involved at work, cause you're going to get your feelings hurt. You know, like I said, you think everybody your friend and this and that, then you find out somebody supposedly stabbed you in your back or did you wrong or crossed you. Then now you just in your feelings. You can't think right because you got your mind fixed on the situation and stuff. Just go to work and do what you gotta do, man. Chop it up with a couple people that you know you vibe with or whatever, and leave it at that. Stop getting your emotions too invested in the people, man, because you don't know these people. You really don't. We're all just there for one reason, for real. We gotta work as a team if it's one of them jobs, but ain't nobody there really trying to make a best friend for real. And another thing, people be so fake, bro. I'm talking about like this particular job I keep referring to, it was a lot of women too, so I got to see a lot of things. So it's like, bro, girls, they'll laugh, and this applies to the guys too. But you know, you see this person, they'll chop it up with this person, you'll think they cool, and then they'll come to you and tell you something about that person behind their back. I'm talking about it happened so many times, bro, and like, I try not to entertain it. Let's be honest though, we've all entertained a little bit of gossip, man. You know, let's not all act holier than thou. Let's not all act like we perfect in the second coming of Jesus. Like we didn't all entertain some bullshit here and there. Like I would hear some stuff if they come to me with it. I might even like, dang, but I ain't go too far with it. But I entertain a little bit of shit. You know, sometimes work do be kind of dry and boring. You know, sometimes do, but it's like I don't get too invested into it though. But I'm just saying, people they'll talk to somebody else, you'll think they cool, then they'll come to you like, oh, she such and she still stay with her mom and she got 4 kids or 3 kids and she be calling out of work. How does she even manage to pay the bill? Like it's like people will talk shit behind your back and you won't even know it. That's why I said earlier, be careful what you tell people, man. You trying to get them involved into your personal situation, what you got going on at home, and they run around telling people, man. Especially if it's like drama, if it's trouble, if you're going through it with somebody that you care about at home or something, you tell people at work about it. People love that shit. People like be entertained, man. People like gossip. So be careful what you tell people. You know? So yeah. You don't want to get your emotions too involved, man. Cause it's like, and I understand it's hard sometimes for those of you who may be watching. It's like, man, I'm at work all day, every day. Of course, you don't want to go to work, but you got to go to work. It's how this life is set up. And it's like work becomes your second home. Some people, it's their first home. You know? And it's like, it's hard to avoid certain things because you're around these motherfuckers all day, every day. But you don't want to get too comfortable, man. You don't want to get too comfortable. You know? And then, I'm not going to go too deep into like the not dating coworkers thing. I mean, you grown, man. Do what you want to do, man. I'm not here to sit here. I mean, people have preached that over and over. There's 1,000 videos on that. Don't date your coworkers. I mean, it is what it is, man. If you want to, hey, you know what I'm saying? Just be careful, man. Don't get caught up in no bullshit. Don't get caught up in no bullshit. Don't do nothing silly. Don't do nothing crazy. And so, you know what I'm saying? Hold up. Yeah, so it is what it is, man. If you want to, you know what I'm saying? Y'all click or whatever, yeah, man, just be careful. Be careful with that. You know what I'm saying? I don't really got much to say on that. Some people don't really go out like that. Some people don't go out or whatever, so they feel like, okay, if I meet somebody cool at work or whatever, just be careful. Because I've seen situations I've seen a female supervisor get fired because some dude she was dating, dude got petty. He got mad about something and he snitched on her about something. I guess she broke up with him or something. And since they had been dating, he knew some things about her. I guess some drugs she was doing or something. And he went and snitched. He put in an anonymous report and had her investigated or something like that. And then, she ended up getting fired. So I've seen that situation. And I've seen other situations too. Well, another supervisor was fucking one of the team leads. And I ain't gonna lie, she was fine. She used to flirt with me a little bit, but I ain't, you know what I'm saying? I just like, whatever. I entertain it a little bit, but I ain't never, go too far with it. But apparently she had been fucking, she probably was fucking a lot of people, man. I don't know. Little red bone chick, but her and the supervisor got caught up or whatever. And she was on somewhere. If I go down, everybody go down. So she exposed text messages and pictures, nude photos and all that explicit shit. And had like multiple people go down with her. Actually, it was two. It was a guy in the office and there was another guy who was just a regular supervisor. And he had one of the guys in the office. Two black dudes. So that got pretty messy. So yeah, I see why people preach that. But it happens, but it's not in every situation, man. Some things go good. So it is what it is with that. But yeah, just be careful with coworkers. They're not your friends. You don't want your coworkers added on your social media for the most part. Especially if you voice your opinion a lot or show and share a lot of personal stuff. You don't want your coworkers involved in your social media. So be careful with that. Because you won't be thinking in the moment and you'll just add people or whatever. And it is what it is. Maybe you're just a friendly ass motherfucker. You don't really care. But just be careful, man. You post something and they might use that shit against you. And like I said earlier, man, with sharing information, you don't have to intentionally share information. They could just go look at your shit. If you got them on social media, they could just see what you got going on and use that. Use that as value to go or whatever, and use that as something to hold against you or and gossip and the gossip about behind your back. So yeah. And another thing too, like with the whole not sharing information, I get it. Sometimes you meet somebody cool or whatever, and you get to talking. Some of y'all can relate to this, especially if you kind of like an introvert or whatever, you like to keep to yourself. But you'll meet somebody cool or a few people that's cool, and you'll just get caught in conversation, and you don't know how to filter yourself. You just get to talking and opening up too much, sharing, and then you ever like later on that day, you to yourself, you think about it, Like, dang, I might have said too much. That person know your siblings' names, your parents' names. They know your middle name. They know where you went to school at. They know everything. You're like, damn, I got carried away. But it be like that, you know? So, you know, you just gotta like have the discipline to remind yourself, like, man, you know, I'm gonna just keep it to a minimum what I talk about with this coworker. It's just best like not to have everything out in the forefront. Like, don't be telling everything to people, man. Especially like, because like I said, they're just coworkers, man. They're coworkers. You see the title, coworkers are not your coworkers. They're coworkers, man. They're not your best friend for life. You can't even like chop it up with some of your siblings about certain things. Even family will hold certain things against you. I could say that for another video, talking about family and shit. But it's like, especially coworkers, man. At the end of the day, they're there for one reason. You there for one reason. They're not your friend. You're not their friend. Y'all cool or whatever, man. You might make a couple friends throughout the years, but for the most part, they're not your friend, man. Just be real with yourself. And, you know, you gotta be careful, man. But anyway, that's my little video on coworkers, man. I hope you enjoyed it. It's your boy Interest. Subscribe to the damn channel, man. Support the cause. All I want you to do is just keep tuning back in, man, and watch my content. And I'm out.